Hello folks and welcome back to the Moo Mad channel. It's James here. Today I don't have any pickups. I do have a nice box of Survivor mail that I am going to show in another video. But last night I posted off a couple of Blu-rays to my friend Roy, and it was 3 Blu-rays that I had already got in the Clint Eastwood collection up there. And I thought, well, I don't really need 2 copies, so I think it was Heartbreak Ridge, Kelly's Heroes, and Eagles Dare Double Pack, and Unforgiven. And I sent them across, and he very nicely put a post on his Instagram thanking me for them, which was nice. Footy and Flicks, I think his Instagram is, Footy and Flicks, it is. And he put in it a wee, shout out to my channel, and it was, check out James's channel. He's a movie hunter and collector on a budget, and that got me thinking. That is primarily what my channel is about: trying to do movie hunting on a budget. So I thought to myself, what would my top tips be to someone who is trying to do what I'm doing, collect on a budget? Because there is collectors out there, and they're very good ones, who go out and buy new titles every day that are that are first day releases, and that's good if you can manage that kind of financing. But I generally can't, and I try and resist doing that to try and get more value for what I can put into my collection. So that's what I try and do. So I thought about some top tips, and I wrote them down last night just as I was thinking. So first one, it's got to be the charity shops. So what can you get out of the charity shops? And you know what, it varies from time to time. Sometimes you get nothing at all, sometimes you get a decent find, but you could go for days or weeks without actually getting anything at all, any value at the charity shops. What's my tips for finding things in there? Well, this thing is, go where Al Pearson does. Yeah. And because he seems to do very well on there. I thought I'd done well, but some of his pickups at the charity shops are immense. And it's often in volume. The number of ones you go to and the number of ones you check out, the more you check out, the more lucky you'll be. Simple as that. The other thing is, if you are doing what I do, don't just check for movies that you want in your collection. If there is other movies in there and they could be traded into CEX, then check the value of them and trade them in, and then get the thing that you want. So that often works too. The other thing is, don't just check the movies. Check out other things in the charity shop. And I'm talking specifically things that could be traded to CEX. For example, I went into a shop the other day and there was a pile of PS2 games, and normally they're not usually worth that much, I'll no bother, but there was a big pile of them, and I thought, let's just check a couple. And 2 or 3 of them, they were £2 each. 3 of them ended up getting me a £23 voucher, so that was absolutely great. So don't just check out the movies, check out other things you can trade into CEX to get the things that you want. What was the other things that you can find? GameCube controller, I found that one, paid £4, you got 13 trade in for it. And Mario stuff, Wii stuff, and games like Mario Kart and things like that, as long as there's no scratch in that, they tend to be of decent value as well, so do that. The other thing is, when you are doing the way I trade, you've got to think about the risk to reward ratio. Okay, so if you're buying an item, say it's £8 and you're only going to get £10 for it, then is it really worth taking the cash value of £8, which you could use somewhere else other than CEX, and just getting a £2 more? Depends if you're trying to save up for something in CEX or not. The other thing is, when you are looking and you do buy it, don't buy anything that you can't afford to lose out on, because the tradings don't always work out. So unless you're 100% sure, unless you're 100% sure you can live without that money, then don't do it. Then don't do it. I was looking at the charity shop the other day and had the £5 for the pounds, and they had a DVD. It was Cosmic Sin, I think it was, with Bruce Willis, and it looked relatively new. I thought, oh, that's good. And opened up, huge crack up the disc. So always check the disc, always check the items, check them before you buy, check them before they purchase them. So that is part one, how I hunt for a budget and how I look for them in charity shops. If there's anything I miss, then let me know. The other thing, so the next thing is Facebook. Good things on Facebook. Facebook Marketplace. I did once see it's not once, I've been to a few different places where I've seen Blu-rays for sale for really good prices, and I've went and bought them, and some of them I've kept and some of them I've traded in and done really well on. Also, not just, again, the same with the charity shops, if you are doing that, look for other things like games and things like that you can trade in. For example, that Dexter DVD box set I've got up there, the full Dexter, someone was selling it on Facebook Marketplace for £5, and I went and bought it. Perfect. I've got one series on Blu-ray. I'll probably get them all on Blu-ray eventually, but to get the whole series on DVD for £5, pretty good deal. The other thing with Facebook is join the Movie Mad Facebook page, because Roy, myself, and about 70 others put up bargains that you could perhaps find in the online that can be traded in, as well as bargains for your collection. So that is that. What else though? Oh yeah, buying things new can sometimes be cheaper, but don't discount second hand. You know, I went on to Amazon and they had the brand new, I think it was, what was it, Magnificent Seven? Oh no, it was Young Guns for £7, but in the second hand bit they had it for £4, and I bought it. Maybe the case was a wee bit worn, but I just changed it, the case. So don't discount second hand. What other tips have I got? Oh yes, here we go. I wrote them down because I didn't want to forget. So Amazon. Always check out Amazon in different countries for different, if that's okay, that you do want to, like getting German releases and things like that, because sometimes they do have really great deals. Like Amazon Germany have 3 for €18, 4 for €20, and with that being the case, in the pound weight is, it usually works about £18, £20 to £18 for, along with the deliveries. So always check that out. You can also use affiliate programs like Amazon. I keep getting rejected from it, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just not clever enough to fill that in and fill in the form correctly. And you can get a few pennies from that here and there. And I ended up getting a couple, I think it was The Last Castle and The Faculty, I got from one of the gift vouchers for that. So you can do that too. Okay. The other thing about Amazon and other companies is don't be afraid if you've purchased something and you've got bad service or a bad product to challenge them on it. Now, you probably, if you've not seen my Zavi Infinity War Steelbook rant, you can go back, it was about 3 years ago, and you can look at it. And what had happened there is I had missed Infinity War at the cinema, and I thought, okay, because I couldn't get out at the time, I had young children and I couldn't get out. So I decided what I'll do is I'll treat myself, really treat myself, and I'll buy the Steelbook 4K Infinity War, and it comes dented. And I just wanted them to send me a replacement, and I didn't have a replacement, and it took me about an hour and a half at Zavi customer service to explain to them I didn't want a refund of the money. I just wanted the perfect item. And eventually they said they didn't have it, but they did allow me to keep the item for free, which was £30. And the other thing is, don't be one of those guys that do that thing where somebody delivers a parcel and they go, I didn't receive it. Don't be that guy, because that's just wrong. So if only do this if you've genuinely had bad service. But again, Amazon was supposed to deliver a pair of football shoes for me on the Thursday night for a game on Friday, and it didn't come. And I went on and I went, listen, these were supposed to be here. I didn't have my shoes for my football, and they sometimes give you a voucher, but only do it when you have had genuinely bad service. That's what I would say. Number 4, reward schemes. Some reward schemes can be really, really good. 8 Films have got one. Rare Waves have got one. I think Indicator have got one as well. I could be wrong. And if you are buying off these sites and you are buying, new things, then make sure you claim all the reward points, because they can all add. They can all add up. The other thing is a lot of sites offer. There's a couple of cashback sites like Top Cashback, and even if you go onto eBay, you get 1% back, or Music Magpie, you get 1% back. Zoom used to be good. You used to get a good bit on there, but I've not bought from them for ages because their stuff's just overpriced and not great now. So eBay also you can link your Nectar card to that and get your Nectar points. Tesco Club card, if you are buying, not that there's any movies in Tesco's anymore, but you can use that to get your club card points and use those type of things to do that. I think I used £5 of Nectar reward points to get that Batman TV series for £11 on DVD, and then traded that in. So I used £5 in Nectar points, so it would have been 16, so I got it for 11. Then traded that in to get 18 and bought the Blu-rays, and then I sent the Blu-rays to Roy. So there we go. But that leads to my next point, which is spread the love. And that is, as much as I like to collect on a budget, and I am trying to get as much value as I can out my collection, there's absolutely nothing wrong with giving stuff away. And I have given away a few things to William, and a few other people, and people have given me stuff, and I'm really appreciative of it. But just because you collect on a budget doesn't mean you can't be generous. And there's been some movies I could have probably traded to CX, but I knew somebody else wanted them, and it was probably more value to them to get those items. So don't be afraid to spread the love, as I call it. And the very first time I had done that was for Jason's movie and TV. Or was it TV movies? I still can't get that right. Jason Lavitt. So one time I was filming in an Oxfam shop, and he seen one he wanted me to pick up, and he sent me the money for it, and we've been good friends ever since, I think, hopefully. And I say I've actually still got Jeeves and Wooster to post off to him down there, and I've also got Battle of Britain to send to Al, which I will get them out. And I've also sent Pete Blu-ray Bullet Brit quite a few bits and pieces for his competitions that he does. He does them every Friday. You know what? I haven't seen a Friday video for a while. I must be way behind them. Don't know. It doesn't keep coming on my notifications. I'm gonna check it out. But one time we gave away 60 Blu-rays at once, and it was ones we found in charity shops, what I did, and a few other bits and pieces that I'd maybe upgraded, things like that. So I say, don't be afraid to spread love, and that's number 5. And number 6. The top tip that I can give you for movie hunting on a budget is patience. I want to own Spider-Man No Way Home. My daughter wants to own Spider-Man in No Way Home. It's out there and it's in CX now for £22. It's in the Blu-ray's £12. But I know in 6 months' time that'll be half the price. It'll be down to 6. It'll be down to 12. Just be patient, because if you can do that, you'll save yourself a lot of money in the long run. Like new Arrow titles, things like that. I know you can miss out on them if you don't get them right away, but just be patient. And if you're that patient, good things will come to you. I always find that. Sometimes you miss out on stuff, but then again, that can happen to us all. And I did mention that obviously I buy stuff to trade into CX, and I do that regularly. And one last thing, and that is, if you've got something in your collection that you can live without for a while, and there's something you really want in CX, take the thing out of your collection as long as it's relatively easy to get back, because 9 times out of 10 the price will drop on it. So for example, I took a 3-box set of, I think it was About Time, Love Actually and Notting Hill into CX. I think I got an £8 voucher for it, £6 or £8 voucher for it. I paid £2 in the charity shop. And I don't have Love Actually on Blu-ray, and I do want it, and I do want it in the collection. But that's went down to £4 in CX. So I got an £8 voucher. I could go back, get the three for £4, take the Love Actually out, trade the other 2, and it maybe cost me £2. So that's the other thing. Things do go down in value. So if there is something that you really want and you want the vouchers for it, use what you've got in your collection to do it. And I got that tip from Jason Laverick, and it was one time there was a couple of Arrow limited editions in CX, and I didn't have the money, and he says, why don't you take something out of your collection, trade it in, and then buy it back later when it's cheaper? And I did do that, and it works. What I would say about that is sometimes it doesn't work out, because I've done it again once, and I've traded the Saw 7 movie collection in, and I've never managed to get that back in the collection again. But, you know, I can live without that. So that is my top tips for movie hunting on a budget. Hope you've enjoyed the video this time, and if you have, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Bye guys, bye.